What's up, witches? What's up, my friends? Hello, all of you. Hello, Samantha. Oh, Amy, honey, I'm so sorry you're having a bad day. I'm so sorry. Good vibes to you, and I hope, yes, that's the whole thing here, that you don't have to be there alone. You can sit here with a circle of sisters and have a little bit of community. Hello, Marcy. Welcome and blessed be. Check in if you're new, especially. We'd love to say hello and connect with you and welcome you to the circle. Lots of energy everybody's way. Yeah, I just had to go take some Tums. My tummy's not feeling so great, and I think it's because of the amount of hydrocortisone I've been taking. And tomorrow I get to see my doctor about these things. So good energy all around. Hey, Becca, welcome, sweetheart. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, folks. Everybody's coming with some healing needs tonight. We'll take care of each other, okay? We will definitely take care of each other. Just give it time. Test 1 2 1 2. How's the sound, everybody? What do you think? Sounds like you can hear me okay, or somebody would have said something by now, but I'm just so happy, so happy to have you here again. This is a touchstone for me too, as I've said many times, and I feel like it's one little step at a time, just kind of walking my way back to a personal springtime, out of the dark of winter. It's kind of blowing my... Okay, let's see. We'll turn the drums down a little bit. Hold up. Drums down just a bit. Hold on, let me do it this way. We want the Yeti at 100% and desktop audio down. All right. Hold on. Hit my gain up a little bit. I've got my microphone cranked in my OBS. Is that better? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. How's it? How's it hanging? How's it sound? Good. Okay. All right. Yes, we want to make sure, and that's why I used to use the ocean waves behind, but I realize now that some people have issues with hearing where if there's a lot of background noise, things kind of blend together. So I know the drums are a little bit crisper in that regard, but I also know that they can, things can be out of whack and not in balance. So thank you for the input. Okay. So preface for tonight, what do I have to say? Well, I have one thing that it was just sitting here on my desk because I kept it because I thought this is just too bizarre. Just to put this out to you, I got this fortune last week in a cookie. And I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. Everybody else got something that sounded like a fortune. This one doesn't make any sense to me at all. So it was sitting here and I thought, I'll throw it out to you guys and see if you can enlighten me a little bit here. It says, a kiss, the renunciation of the heart when one is no longer alone. A kiss is the renunciation of the heart when one is no longer alone. What the actual fork. I'm going to see. I'm curious if I can get it to come in. A kiss? Okay, whatever. What the fuck, fortune cookies? So I'm just going to throw that aside. If anybody has some major insight on that, but it's like, it seems to me there are jobs available right in fortune cookie fortunes that are actual fortunes. That might be a job for me. Yeah. Huh? What the fuck? Yeah, it was very weird. Anyway, the other thing that I want to tell you tonight, because I've been listening to this album, and it is in my top 10 of like favorite albums of all time. And I'm stunned to find out tonight, I didn't realize that this album is nearly 30 years old. It came out in 1994. It is the best album and artist that you've probably never heard of in your life. The artist is Tony Childs, Toni. Here, you know what I'm going to do? Watch this. I am going to give you a link to this album. Hold on, let me find it here. Oh my God, this is going to be fascinating tonight. My browser is super slow. I've been particularly having issues with posting... What the fuck here? Hold on. Issues with posting things from YouTube to Facebook. And the links like not actually showing up. Oh God, and it's still doing the same thing. All right, we're trying to do this the easy way. And now I'm loading another YouTube tab in my browser, and it's taking forever. All right, here we go. This. Now I got to put me back over here so I can see myself on the thing. And okay. This album is by Tony Childs, and it's called The Woman's Boat. And my friend Chris turned me on to this like way back in the early 2000s. It's an incredible album, you know, like progressive type rock. It's got world music influences. Peter Gabriel's on one of the songs. It is like a feminist tour de force, and just every mother, every daughter needs to listen to this album. And it's one of those headphones, clear some space so that you can just lie back and really take it in. Have the Kleenex handy. It's one of the albums that I go to when I have a big chunk of grief stuck and I can't get it moving, because this one will get it moving. I listened to it a lot when I was driving back and forth to Michigan to take care of my father when he was in hospice. And I would get on the turnpike and put this on, and, you know, it would be driving and crying all the way home. But it is also incredibly uplifting. You know, it's The Woman's Boat. It's just amazing. Just an absolutely amazing album. Her voice is feral, raw, just epically powerful. She's got a voice that's like, it's fucking huge. She has one of those voices that's like not under her control, and she throws it out there. It's incredible. So I give that to you to enjoy. You know, think of me when you listen to it, because you will know me better once you've heard this album. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you because last week was such a gathering of the witches, and that's what these Wednesday nights are turning into, more than readings for the signs. I'm so glad that these are morphing into something I really enjoy. So I just wanted to gift that to you because I'm going to be listening to it like every day for a while. So anyhow, and stunningly, so this album came out in 1994. It earned her a Grammy nomination for Best Rock Performance by a Female. And yet, between 1994 and 2006, it sold 66,000 copies in the U.S. So, when I read that, I wasn't really surprised, because it's like, the U.S. Yeah, we don't like powerful women. Historically, this country does not like powerful women. So anyway, I give it to all you powerful women to enjoy. And now let's see here. Let me catch up on messages. Samantha, is there True Heart's Desire? But what's the kiss? A kiss? Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I mean, you can try to wring something out of it, but if I can't get something out of it, then I think there's not anything to be got. So let's just do our intro, and then I will introduce our decks, kind of like we did last week. So I think I shall put myself over here tonight so we can see the candlelight. And okay, I need to smell some sage tonight. So I offer you this sacred smoke cleanse. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. I have another deck off to the side there. And by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And with the sound of the bell, may we cleanse this space on all levels. And with the second bell, let's bring our attention to this time and place, letting all extraneous thoughts and agendas and everything else fall away. And now let's send your grounding cord down into the earth. Draining away all your tension, all your worry, all your fear, all the trauma that has come trooping through your energy field today. Let's let it drain out. And let's let the springtime energy start traveling up those roots, the equinox energy. It's a little ways away yet, but it's starting. The end of winter energy. The sap energy that's starting to rise. Just let it rise up your roots and let it fill up your body. This can happen in a flash when you need it to, by the way. You know, when I take my time, I make sure and, you know, I just sit and wait and watch and follow it. But when you need it to happen in an instant, it certainly can. Just imagine it rushing into your body, filling you up in an instant. Nice deep breath in. Release it all the way out. Shake out anything else that needs to go. And now, a deep breath in and turn up the volume. Releasing only the energy. Only the breath. Oh my goodness. You guys know what you're doing. You don't listen to me. Cranking up the brightness and release your breath again. Inhale all that bright energy. Release your breath. Third one. Bright and bold and beautiful, and let's send it out the top to the highest frequency. And see it surrounding you on all sides, and push it out into a beautiful sphere surrounding you, protecting you, energizing you, shielding you, filtering your experience so that you only absorb the energies which you expressly invite in. And then we open up and let cosmic energy come in to balance us between earth and sky. We'll just leave it at that tonight. You know what? I trust you guys. You guys are witches, right? So, you know how to do all this. So let's meet our decks tonight, huh? We have the Starseed Oracle. Can you see that? There we go. Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. the Dao Oracle. This is by Mahadeva Padma, the author or the creator of the Osho Zen deck. And we're doing it with coins. Even though this is a deck of cards and I could just shuffle and pull, we are going to do it with the coins because that's the way that oracle's meant to be done. Then we have the Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis and illustrated by Scott Murphy. This is one of the first decks that I modified and edged in blue, and I love it so much. We have the Robinwood Tarot, which, gosh, I wish I had kept the book and taped it up, but I didn't. Anyhow, Robinwood Tarot, because she do talk. And I have to tell you, you know, I absorb so much from what I watch and experience, and I have been watching a channel called Owl Moon. I think it's Owl Moon 513 or something like that. Let me give it to you straight. Owl Moon. Yes, Owl Moon 513. And she is a witch, a priestess, and a tarot and oracle reader, and she is just a sweet baby angel. I don't know her actual name. I know she said it in a couple videos, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, she refers to all her decks as she, and I have absorbed that. I've caught myself doing it a couple times already. Anyway, yes, the Robinwood, she do talk. And then we have, hi Tavia, hi Sherry. Sorry, I'm catching up here. Woohoo! All right, cool. I'm caught up. So welcome, Sherry and Tavia. All right, this is the Wicca Oracle. Here's the box, which was a gift to me from Sherry. And I don't reach for it often. It called my name tonight, so here we go. Beautiful silver sides on those cards. All right, so let's start with our dice to get our frame for tonight. Boy, a lot of stuff's going on, huh? My heart, my thoughts, all of my good energy, all of my warrior goddess energy is going out to every trans child in Texas and their parents, their supportive parents, because they have just had the assholes sicked on them. Greg Abbott has said that any kind of medical or supportive therapies, whether it's medical or therapeutic for trans children, is child abuse. He has named all of that child abuse. So I pray that there isn't a spike in suicides in Texas, although there's going to be. There's going to be. People are going to be ratting out kids and parents, and I pray that they can get the fuck out of Texas. I wish Texas would get the fuck out of Texas. I wish everybody that has a brain and a heart could swiftly leave that state, and if they don't secede, I wish we could kick them out and they can just be their own little hell down there, because it's horrendous. It's tragic, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh, wait, we're not done here. We aren't done here. You can tell I'm just not together tonight. My tummy pain has got my attention, so I'm kind of hoping it calms a little bit. Anyway, welcome to Guides and Guardians, Allies and Ancestors. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for carrying us through every single day. And please bring your wisdom and insight to us as we look for answers and support and your guiding light through the coming week. Thank you so much. Let's give us our frame tonight. Where do we need to put our attention? What is calling to us? Okay, we have Saturn, not surprised, in Libra, in the 10th house. Wow. Okay. Saturn in its natural house in the sign of its exaltation. Saturn comes to its highest expression in the sign of Libra, because Libra is about you and me. It's about us together. It's about our social contract. It's about how we care for each other, how we communicate with each other, how we negotiate with each other. It rules diplomacy, balance, justice. And Saturn is karma. Karma, the Lord of Karma, in Lady Justice's sign, to balance those scales so that we can be called to responsibility, called to our proper business and our responsibility of toward our society, responsibility to each other. Saturn in Libra, Venus is ruling Saturn, so rather than cold, calculating ambition, we get it with a motivation of increasing love and beauty, increasing balance and justice and love and beauty in the world. And the 10th house is, oh, thank God. Thank God, Becca. Thank you for that, sweetheart. 10th house is our highest possibility, our highest achievement. It talks about public life, what is visible outside, you know? But it's like, it's what we do, how we evolve from that 4th house, which is our emotional underpinnings, emotional and psychological foundations and underpinnings, and how we grow through that and how we project it out into the world, how we take responsibility for it, how what goals we choose, you know, what we choose to work towards as our highest expression in each of our individual lifetimes. So absolutely fascinating. The Isis Oracle, I almost brought her back out again this week because she did, boy, did she talk last week, and I started working with her. I did it just a couple days in a row, but then it became very apparent that I needed to do the rituals for the 3 cards that I pulled. So I stopped, and I'm going to just, when I pull the cards, I will do the rituals before I go back to that oracle. But she called us out last week. The goddess, through that oracle, called us into service. So she will get a rest this week, but woof, what a deck. So anyhow, let's grab the Starseed. Send some healing energies to my tummy, folks, please. Hoping it's not what I ate for dinner. I would think that would have hit me a lot faster if it was. Okay. So, let's do a little bit more here. So, Starseed. This deck is very strongly telling me that it doesn't want me to cut and pull. It wants me to spread them. Okay. Okay, honey, I will. I will. They all want equal time is what they're telling me. Okay. So tell us how we are called to be responsible to the principle of balance and justice and our own highest expression. Here. We're pulling 3. Ooh. All right. So what we have here, okay, the Great Severing, Starkeeper, and the golden children. So hello, baby Joe. Welcome, sweetheart. I'm so glad you made it. So glad you're here. So the Great Severing says Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So let's start with that. We certainly have some wayward Mars energy going on our planet. You know, this is the conflict that has kind of been dormant inside, that has been kind of barfed up through this end of Pluto through Capricorn. And you know, we are now, Pluto is now exactly conjunct our Pluto in the U.S. natal chart, the Sibley natal chart. So hello, Calla Lily. Welcome, sweetheart. So this Mars energy, this warlike energy, this toxic masculine energy has shown itself in no uncertain terms. No uncertain terms. You know, we were able through the 60s and the social justice movements. Words are hard for me tonight, so I'm going to forget things. But, you know, in the civil rights movement, those are the words I was looking for. In the civil rights movement, yes, a lot came out. And things did change to the degree that it kind of put a veneer over the systemic racism that still exists. And now that veneer has been scraped away, forcibly scraped away, and we're dealing with it out loud and to a much greater degree of violence than we have before. So the Great Severing is anger and conflict. It is us disconnected from ourselves. That's the severing, is the dismembering of, you know, of the goddess, the dismembering of ourselves from ourselves, our conscience from how we behave, you know, and our speech. All these things, these parts of ourselves have been chopped up and dismembered. And, you know, we've had to kind of lop off limbs in order to continue fooling ourselves that we have a democracy. Now it's very apparent that we have become disconnected from ourselves and disconnected from each other in that way. We have a lot of people that are toxic, traumatized, angry, that are acting out. And, you know, what greater symbol of that do we have than what old Vlad is up to right now? So, anger, and then we have Starkeeper, cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So, these first two are talking to us about not getting pulled into the anger agenda, even though the things that are happening are absolutely infuriating. I just heard my music stop. Okay, no, it's still there. All right. Even though, you know, these things are enraging that are going on as they try to drag us backwards into, you know, fear and hatred and a lack of understanding. So the last thing here says softening to love. So where we need to soften first is to love ourselves enough not to let that anger reside in our energy system, not to let their anger be in our system and fester in there. That is super, super important. So when we feel this anger coming at us, or just witness it, and remember that a witness to trauma is a victim of trauma. And if you're empathic at all, and all of us witches and readers, golly, aren't we all? When we witness these things, it's traumatizing to us because we feel it. So this is the reminder to, when it hits, soften. Don't let that anger take root in your energy system. Soften to love, and then we ask, what Saturn is calling us to do. What is the action that we're called to do? So the first thing here says we need to ground. We need to ground that energy out. We need to come back down in the body, because when we get hit with trauma and anger like that, one of the first things we want to do often is to get out of the body, to numb it out. I don't want to feel it anymore. But rather than doing it in a numbing out way, this is calling us to ground it. All right? Put your root down. Imagine you've pulled the plug in the bathtub and let that energy drain out. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. All right? Even though, yes, it is your righteous anger at what's going on. You did not ask for that. Someone else's agenda is sparking this energy in your system because of their anger. So we soften. We recognize that, hey, honey, I love you too much to let you sit in that. And I'm going to ground it out of the body. And then we have the golden children, inner child tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. So what we need to do, and in particular, you know, thinking about this Texas thing, obviously, that's foremost in my mind, is we need to connect with our own inner child, and through the healing work that we do with ourselves, we then send that healing out to the children that are on those front lines. And you know, there are many, many, many trans children who do not have supportive parents. And it could be that, teens that are seeking therapy and help will actually have parents ratting them out. I mean, this is nightmarish, absolutely nightmarish. So what I'm seeing here is, first of all, this is definitely a call to send our healing energy there. I need to do a prayer circle this weekend. But through our own inner child, we can send healing to all of these children. Everything is connected. Any atom that has been in touch with another atom, no matter how far away those atoms are from each other now, when one is affected, the other one is instantly and simultaneously affected. So think about how many years you've been here breathing and how far those molecules of air have traveled. And so when you are breathing and working in your energy system to change something in a particular way, you're vibrating every one of those molecules instantly. So this is just that call to work with the inner child and to, boy, what I'm seeing here is a big umbrella, a big bubble. One hopes that this will not be able to stand. But you know why they're doing these things. They're doing these bold-ass moves so that they will get to the Supreme Court while it's conservative. And God damn it, if the Democrats don't grow at least one ball, that's all I'm asking for, one ball. Anyway, that's what, okay, they're telling me one more, and they're telling me off the top. Perspective, it says, none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. Well, common ground to me says, I mean, look at this little speck of Earth from space. What happens to one happens to all. So, this is happening to me. This is happening to my inner child, my son. My son is an adult now, thank the gods, and he's still discovering himself. And is able to do that in Ohio for now. So anyway, thank you, Starseed. There's our first one. Yes, we have. We have seen so much trauma. We have been assaulted again and again and again. And like, I've talked about since 2016, or at least since I rebooted my channel. I forgot. Wow, you guys. All right. You're going to see me like seriously just letting things go tonight because that's the best I can do. All right. So Now, and yes, Samantha, when I was talking about the dismembering, what we need to do now is remember, pull those parts together again, all of the parts together, to do daily meditation, just affirming that we are all connected, and what happens to one happens to all, and then generating the most positive, the most protective energy, the essence of justice, invoking the essence of justice. All right. Get a piece of paper and a happy pen. Now, if you've never used the I Ching, it's done with coins, and we're going to get, thank you, Samantha, darling. Thank you so much. We are going to get 6 lines. All right. Please, please, please. Guide us. Guide us through these times for this week, in this time, in this place. Bring us your wisdom and enlightenment of what we are called to do. Give us a pathway of effectiveness and empowerment. The power to change things. Okay. We have 2, 4, 7. That's a strong line. Or that's a solid line, but it's not strong. And then we have 2, 2, 2. That is a broken line that is strong. 3, 2, 4, 7. A strong, solid line again. There's our first trigram. And then we have, a solid strong line. And the strong lines are when I come up with triples. The coins have a 2 on one side and a 3 on the other. If I get triple 2s or triple 3s, they're strong lines. The triple 3s, the odd numbers, are solid lines, the yang. And the yin numbers, the even numbers, are broken lines. Okay, we have 2, 4, 7 again. And what happens with the strong lines is we will read this first hexagram and then, whoops, hey. And then those lines turn into their opposites and we read a second one. So we have another strong broken line. All right. Now we go to the back of the book. And we have broken, solid, solid on the top. So broken, solid, solid. And then the bottom is solid, broken, solid. There. And those come together in number 49. Oh boy. Okay. The name of this hexagram is Revolution. So this is, I'm going to write this down just for, and it's, let me take a look real quick here. I forget what the symbols are, but there's, this set of I Ching is wonderfully done. And it has these symbols here. You see? So the one down below is fire, the clinging, and the one that's above is the joyous. It's called reflecting lake. So we have fire under the reflecting lake. The time of revolution is a time of breakthrough when, often in spite of our own desires, the old drops away and is replaced by the new. No snake ever resists shedding its skin, however uncomfortable the experience may be. Hold on one second here. You know what? iTunes is pissing me off so badly. Anyway. But we humans have a tendency to resist transformative change by failing to appreciate it as a renewing and essential quality of life. If wherever you turn the outlook appears shrunken, dry, and limiting, it's probably because life is urgently trying to tell you something. It's obvious that you wouldn't consider walking in the shoes you wore as a child. because the pain would be excruciating and drastically limit your movement. But on the more subtle psychological level, we all tend to overlook the warning signs when a change is overdue. Oof, isn't that true? Remembering the discomfort of those tight little shoes will enable you to gain some insight into the real choices you are facing now. The most important choice, oh my, is whether you go willingly with the strong transforming current that is active now, or whether you expend energy resisting it and go down kicking and screaming. That is almost verbatim what I tell people about Pluto, Plutonian energies, Plutonian transits. That, like with Saturn, you get a choice. You pay the piper or you delay, deny and delay. With Pluto, you know, with Neptune, you kind of get a choice. Escape or ascend, you know. With Pluto, you also get a choice. Even though Pluto rules inevitability, you get a choice, and that choice is willingly or kicking and screaming. And I've never read this particular one before, so that's incredible. Either way, there are going to be big changes. Revolution emphasizes taking a quantum leap. This is talking about this Plutonian energy we're under right now. Whether you think you're ready or not, and remaining bound to what you've outgrown will become increasingly difficult and restrictive until finally you're brought to a standstill because of it. Growth is not an easy process. It's risky and sometimes frightening. But with courage and fortitude, we become stronger, more supple, and hopefully more aware. Releasing your grip on whatever you're clinging to, whether it's an identity, a relationship, a place, or a thing, may seem impossible at first. But once you feel the truth of it all the way to your bones, letting go becomes easier and can even be exhilarating. The taste of the freedom you will have when you disengage from habitual behavior patterns will stimulate new behavior and new attitudes. What you once perceived to be a breakdown will begin to look like a breakthrough. Amen to that. You know, when we break down, if you've ever had a breakdown, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's where you can no longer control what's coming through your system, and it just happens. It happens. You can't avoid it any longer, and it does feel like a breakdown. It does feel like you're out of control. It feels like it's big and scary. It feels like I don't know what's happening to me, and I don't know if I'll ever be in control again. The truth of it is, the only way to find out is to go through, right? The only way, there's no way around. The only way is through. And that's how you will find out if you'll ever have it together again. And, you know, the best that you can do is recognize that I don't have a choice, that this is happening, and go with it. Just go with it. And that's why we have all these decks and wonderful things, right? To help us through it. In mythology, the process of inner revolution is represented by the life, death, and rebirth of the phoenix, another Plutonian symbol, you know, the third symbol of Scorpio. A magnificent bird that cyclically rises from the ashes of its previous self. Becoming attuned to the qualities of the phoenix means learning to live without guarantees and to appreciate the ebbing and flowing cycles of life. Living without guarantees. Any guarantee is an illusion. Security is an illusion. Safety is an illusion. Ask the people in Ukraine how much of an illusion safety is at this particular moment. Okay. Although it might seem more like whitewater rafting than drifting lazily in your canoe right now, it is important not to get distracted and lose perspective. That perspective from that last card, from the Starseed, perspective, zoom out. Drop worrying about how to get it right. What is needed is trust that the surging current of change will take you to where you really need to be. There's no point in attempting to predict outcomes because the scope of this revolution is far greater than what can be seen at this time. I'm going to read that again. There's no point in attempting to predict outcomes because the scope of this revolution is far greater than what can be seen at this time. Zoom out. Create as much space as possible in your life now to make room for the new. Become a witness to the mind's preoccupation with past and future. and consistently return to the present. What is happening is nothing less than a 180-degree turn, a quantum leap. There's the quantum part. It is tremendously empowering as it firmly roots you in the here and now, and your life will take on an altogether different quality once the dust settles. And that is one of the gifts inside when life nails you. Is how it nails you is it nails you to the present moment. It yanks you into that present moment, and suddenly all that shit you were worrying about a minute before is like, whoops, shrink. Perspective. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, let's look at the strong lines that came up. So we have line 2 is a strong line. Accepting greater responsibility, Saturn there in the 10th house, for the choices you make now doesn't necessarily imply things will get more difficult. Conflict arises because the mind interprets change as threatening or bad. Rather than approaching the present circumstances with a feeling that it's like pulling teeth, think of it as a thorough spring cleaning. It will be easy for you to find helpers, and the way is wide open. All right. Next strong line is number 4. It usually takes the mind a while to catch up to the reality of change. Initially, it will fight it tooth and nail. Remember that supporting change is a totally different approach from just enduring it, and that bitching and moaning simply prolongs the discomfort. Ouch. Staying flexible and working with, not against, whatever is happening will shed light on inner strengths that may have previously been dormant or undeveloped. All right, so inner strength, developing. This is why I am going back and really working with my tools on a daily basis. And then the top line is a strong line. Times of change can make us feel pretty shaky, and any offers of assistance can be tremendously supportive, not only in dealing with the external chaos, but internally on a psychological level. You've come a long way, baby. Now give your full attention to stabilizing the new. It will need care and attention if it is to flourish. So, damn, let me see what our new hexagram is going to be. So that one changes to a solid line. We've got 3 solids on the bottom. Oh my God. Oh no. Okay. I thought we had quite something there. All right. So we have 3 solids on the bottom. That is, wait a minute. That is the creative. The creative or heaven. And the one on the top is 2 solids. Okay, 2 solids and a thing. Okay, 9. So we have the creative on the bottom and the gentle on the top. And that gives us number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. I'll tell my son about that. He'll appreciate it. Okay. The taming power of the small. So we had revolution first, this sweeping, huge, global perspective, and then we come down to the taming power of the small. The taming power represented here is in learning to appreciate and work with times of having little influence. Due to circumstances beyond your control, any effect you can have now will only be experienced in ways that are so subtle they may seem downright invisible. The ego can experience such times as impossibly irritating and frustrating. You may be chomping at the bit to change the situation, yet all your attempts seem to fail. This can be all the more irksome when you clearly see the direction things are going, yet feel powerless to do anything that might steer them in a direction you favor. Wow. Okay. This is a precious time for taking care of small things, paying attention to details, making repairs in preparation for greater possibilities of influence that will arise later on. You can work quietly from behind the scenes now, or internally, on a magical level, and be attentive to eliminating habitual and unproductive modes of behavior. Look within to see what attitudes you may be carrying that undermine your sense of trust or your ability to deal with others from a stance of gentleness and receptivity. Avoid getting involved in the desire to push the river. Instead, practice watching events unfold with dispassion and with a passive alertness. That goes back to that Mars energy, grounding it out rather than being egged on or being called out by it. Getting caught up in busyness might lead you to miss the fleeting moments of opportunity. Be aware of a dichotomy that may predominate at this time, being overly ambitious in a drive for a more powerful position or becoming so complacent that you fall asleep in moments of indifference. Finding the balance here means alert watchfulness and being relaxed in the knowledge that you are attentive and available for whatever might be needed at a moment's notice. And this is where you too work with your guides. You know, when you talk to them, when you work with them on a daily basis, just ask them to please bring your attention to what needs your attention, that they alert you when there are things that you care about that need your attention, so that nothing slips by you. Carry on with your work from a detached viewpoint that is not invested in particular outcomes. Such detachment will help you more accurately discern the subtle influences of changes that are already affecting the situation. Okay. Although your powers of influence are restricted now, it does not mean you're out of the loop. Life is giving you an opportunity to explore your humility and your ability to work with what is, even when it feels as though all the excitement is happening somewhere else. Take a lesson from the spider. She works tirelessly to prepare her web, unbeknownst to those around her. However many times her work may be damaged, she tends to the repairs as soon as she notices they're needed. She never postpones and she never seeks attention. Her strength is in her ability to blend into her surroundings. She does what she needs to do without wasting energy, and when all her preparations have been tended to, she's able to be utterly still, utterly alert, and to wait in trust that eventually some tasty opportunities will come her way. So we've got this huge revolutionary Phoenix Plutonian energy happening all around us, and we feel this big. And we are this big. But that's only on the outside. We are far, far bigger on the inside. So this is again talking to us about working on a magical level, working on an internal level, and working on a basis of trust and acceptance. Trusting in your magic. Trusting that it is a fact. Trusting that when I do these things in this way, when I give them my attention, something changes. But I loved that it was talking about letting go of outcomes, because the most powerful, and you know, one part of spell work that sometimes we forget about or we don't give enough attention to is in the release of a spell. We think a lot about the working of a spell, the preparation, the things that I need to do this working, and the actual working itself. But if you don't fully release that spell, and that means no longer being invested energetically in the outcome, it doesn't mean you don't care. It just means that you have absolute trust in the work that you've done. I can let go of being invested in the outcome because I know my magic works, because I have faith. Faith based in knowledge and trust, right? And when you can completely let it go like that, when you can completely release a spell like that, then all of that energy can go out and work. When you're constantly thinking about it, you're calling the energy back to you. You call it back to you. It has to be released completely to go out and do its work. So, pushing the river, yes, indeed. Indeed, indeed. And so that balance, again, of being in the present moment and, you know, fully there, and being your hugely compassionate, caring self about what's going on in the world, enough that you hear the call to action, that you take responsibility for helping to bring this balance back, starting with your own life. But then you trust the universe, you trust your own magic enough that you release it entirely. You give it away. It's kind of like in Buddhist practice. At the very end of Buddhist practice, the end of the practice is the dedication, where we give away the benefits of everything we've just done to all suffering beings. We give it all away, right? All right. I got a tummy ache. Oh, hiss. I might have to go down and get a bubbly, but then I'll be burping in your ear, and you really don't want that. Okay. So yeah, the pushing the river thing, that is a trust issue as well. And I'm going back to, where'd it go? Going back to this one. Zoom out. You know, we want to micromanage our magic. We want to see that direct one-to-one result, that I did this spell and this is what manifested and now I know it worked. Well, that's an expression of doubt in your magic. I have to see it to believe it. If you've seen it ever before, then you can believe it. You know, go back to those times, remind yourself of those times when you watched miracles happen, and just remind yourself of your own power. All right. Better out than in. No kidding. Well, I may have to, because I really do have a tummy ache. Boo hiss. All right. So now we're going to the spellcasters. Wait. I'm going to bust a technological move here and text my husband to bring me a bubbly. Oh, go. Sorry. I left my phone in a game that is absolutely infuriating to try to get out of. Oh, fuck you. All right, you guys, I'm about to get rude. Please forgive me in advance. Bring me a bubbly, please, and thank you. Okay. I feel it, the tummy ache kind of moving its way through my digestive system, so I'm pretty sure it's what I ate. Okay. Refocusing now. Let me light my second little piece of charcoal. Oh, and I'll tell you, now that I've got a tarot deck in my hands, I am, oops, rekindling, and this is part of what I'm doing to rejuvenate my mind and to, you know, bring myself up out of the doldrums, is I'm rededicating myself to the study of tarot again, you know, like I did way back in the beginning. And thank you, Charlie. They don't want me to shuffle. And I'm, you know, rereading my P.D.U. Spensky and A.E. Waite and Eden Gray and Rachel Pollack. And I need to buy Paul Case. I need to buy a book by Paul Case because I don't have one. Okay. Well, we've got the Five of Cups coming out first here. All right. You guys asked for it. You asked for it. Let's see how long it takes my husband to get the text. Here comes another one. So, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Yes. Better up top than down below. Well, and we're hoping that things keep moving down rather than up. Boy. I thought I heard my husband. I guess not. Whoop. Here comes some more. Oh, hey. Alrighty. And of course, fucking court cards. That's alright. I've been working with court cards. Here he comes. Thank you, honey. What a terrible tummy ache. Oh, he brought me ice. I love you. Why'd you bring me the double? So I could...
Because I didn't know if you wanted ice.
Okay, I do. Awesome. Thank you, honey. He's a good man. Comes the bubbly. Cheers. It's grapefruit bubbly. Very refreshing. We're off to the races, y'all. Here we go. Okay. So, I think we're going to do 9 here. I think I need 3 more. And I've been working, I want to tell you, I have been working with 9 card spread in a diamond pattern where it's I can't do it here right now, but I'll show you what it is. But while I'm continuing, you know, starting to study again and really doing some deep dives, I am planning to do a series just like a card at a time, you know, a video on one individual card. Pardon me. We're looking for the big one. Oh. Oof, arf. Okay, wish I could hear you. Wish I could hear you burping, Becca. And more court cards. All right. So we have, the first one out was the 5 of Cups. So we're talking about our, oops, I flipped my thing. There we go. Let's move everybody back a little bit. 5 of Cups, and we've got Page of Pentacles and King of Swords. All right. I just heard the phrase, the truth will out. But we have to deal with our own emotional state. All right, hold on a second here. We have 3 of Cups. We have the Hanged Man. And we have the 7 of Wands. All right, so 3 of Cups at the center of this reading is talking about, you know, we've got the 5 and the 3. Hold on a second, I'm getting distracted. I am praying that I don't have to cut this short, you guys. Really praying that I don't have to. All right. Let me get a bead on these cards here. So I need clarifiers. I do not need to deal with court. And I get another fucking page. Here we go again. These damn court cards and another page. Okay, so 3 pages out here are saying that we need to get back to the basics. We need to get back to beginner's mind. We need to get back to those. And this is what was I just talking about, going back to the tarot and restudying. So this talks about going back to basics as far as taking care of ourselves emotionally, as far as where we have disappointments, where we feel unfulfilled, where we feel a sense of loss, a sense of drain, okay? And the King of Swords says we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be absolutely truthful with ourselves and also flexible, because the King of Swords can get kind of rigid about his ideas and how things are. So this lays out the beginning. We've kind of been knocked back to square one emotionally. And we're asking ourselves, what the hell is this all about? There's the King of Swords. Then we have the Hanged Man, the 3 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands. So 3 of Cups at the center talks about, you know, wanting things to get good again. When are things going to be wonderful and happy again? And these people, this card is crazy because it looks like they're all flying off into the water, right? There's 3 fish down below, and they're either floating in air or they've all just like, whee, taken this leap and they're heading down into the water. So it talks about joy being the ability to absolutely let go. To let go and fling yourself into life and, you know, let yourself fall into the water. The Hanged Man talks about changing our perspective. But in this deck, I mean, look at this Hanged Man. He's not upside down. This is something that if you've ever had any like Raymond Buckland books, and he talks about training in Wicca, they talk about this, this what do they call it? Ordeal, you know, going through an ordeal for initiation. And one of the ordeals used to be being bound up, like in a straitjacket, you know, with cloth and then bound, and you're just there helpless and bound. And it's a way, same thing with scourging, you know, they used to do the thing of smacking yourself on the back. You get a scourge with the knotted cords and gently whip yourself. And the thing is, you just impose these unpleasantries on your body, so it's easier for you to detach your mind from the body and go traveling, basically. There are easier ways in my book. But the Hanged Man talks about being willing. Ooh, I just heard you gotta get in to get out. There we go. So, getting into the hurt, the emotional stuff, is how we also access the joy. Seven of Wands talks about us ultimately overcoming. I gotta say, this deck is not ringing my bell tonight, truthfully. Down at the bottom, we have the Ten of Pentacles talking about stability. I mean, it seems disjointed. Is it reading that way to you guys? I'm going to go in rows this way and see what happens. So we've got all these basic skills represented by these 3 frickin' pages here. And which ones are they? They are Wands and Cups and Pentacles. The one we don't have is the Page of Swords. So, as far as our emotions, our desires, our practical skills... God, you guys, what the fuck? I am so sorry. But, you know, sometimes things hit and sometimes they don't. So let me just keep wrestling with this and see what we come up with. Send energy to the youth of the world. Okay. Thank you, Samantha. Yes, those pages represent... Yes! And, you know, pages, interestingly, are the one that sometimes... seem to be kind of asexual, non-binary, if you will. Wow, okay. Okay, looking at this in an entirely different way now. We've got the youth, these non-binary youth, these young ones that are in their formation and don't know yet how they're going to come out. Are they going to come out, you know, gendered or non-binary? Are they going to, am I a full-on male? Do I need, you know, the surgeries, or can I be male in my expression and not go through those surgeries? You know, these are big questions. And the Hanged Man here, just look at that picture. It's talking about them being bound, being packed away as if there's some kind of dirty secret. And I'm praying and hoping that lawsuits come swiftly as far as these laws go, because they know beyond a shadow of a doubt, medically, the damage that even not referring to someone by their chosen name and their chosen gender, that does psychological damage. We know these things. So these assholes are only going to be able to pretend this doesn't exist for so long. Pray. All right, Marcy, let's see what you got here. Pages, how we communicate emotions. Interesting. Material, passion. All right. The bottom is the Queen of Cups. So what is needed here for these poor children is our nurturing and our caring. They need emotional care. They need to be seen and regarded and enfolded and given our emotional care. Then in the middle, we've got the Five of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So this is a, you know, this is a hopeful journey here from emotional drain, stress, to something to celebrate, reclaiming, joy. And then Ten of Pentacles is talking about things ultimately on a practical level. And then we've got the King of Swords over here. The King of Swords says the truth will out. The King of Swords is going to tell you what's what, whether you want to hear it or not, right? The truth. That double-edged sword of the truth. And the Seven of Wands, we shall overcome, talks about standing strong against all odds, achieving, succeeding against all odds. And then we've got the Two of Swords down at the bottom. Ooh, Two of Swords is a very different card in this deck. It doesn't show, you know, the denial, the not going to think about it, the internal turning inward. She is adventuring. She's got two candles burning here, and the two swords, and a wolf at her back. So she is boldly looking forward. She's like, come on and fight me. Show me what I gotta fight. Here I come. The last one I take is the Devil. Yeah, you guys, there's a lot of toxicity. There's abuse of power. There's toxicity. There's this attempt to bring in this evil. These people are evil. You know, I was not one that, I don't believe in like there's pure evil in the world somewhere. The universal energy is neutral. You know, we're the ones that place the judgments. But these people are evil. They are evil. They are bringing this evil agenda, this attempt to control people's very being. I will control your being if who you are makes me uncomfortable. So, okay, hold on. I want more around this Devil. Tell me more about the Devil. Is this Greg Abbott? Temperance and the High Priestess. Ooh. Okay. So here's what the Devil is going to be hemmed in by. Temperance says this shall not stand because everything, we need equilibrium. Temperance brings things into equilibrium, and Temperance also reins in excesses. Seeks to rein in the excess. And the excess here is, you know, everybody wanting to be in everybody else's goddamn personal business. Then we have the High Priestess over here with her secrets and what's going on in the unconscious, in the collective unconscious. And she gonna rise up. She is gonna rise up. Okay. So, oh, hold on, you guys. Caught a stink bug. I'll be right back. Give him a salute to his watery grave. Sorry, you don't belong here. All right. Looking at messages here. 535, okay. Ten of Pentacles, heritage, ancestors, yes. Throw me to the wolves, I'll come back leading the pack. Hallelujah. Yeah. Devil's only job is to try and make us not remember who we are. The Devil is about control, obsession. And these people are obsessed. They are sexual, you know, they're preverts. They are obsessed with sexuality, and it's toxic sexuality. They have trauma and toxic shit in them, and they're projecting it onto everyone else. And their attempts to control everyone else are a substitute for dealing with their own trauma, you know? The Devil is stuff that has more control over you than you have over it. These people are controlled by their own trauma. The Devil is riding them like a bad pony, and they're making it our fault, and they're making it the fault of these children that are just trying to be who they are. So Temperance here talks about assimilation. It talks about there he will be assimilated. Yes. Assimilating into society, and the High Priestess here really talks about what's going on in the collective unconscious, that we do have these wounds to heal. Our society, you know, has suffered sexual trauma. You know, misogyny is sexual trauma. It is, you know what it is. It's violence against fully half of the human race of, you know, the... So we have a lot of trauma in the collective unconscious that is showing itself right now as this devil. Temperance is saying things have to pass the test. You look at this, you know, pouring one thing into another. They're going to, and this is going on intuitive here, they're going to have a lot of bars to clear in order to make this go forward. But I think what's also going to happen is this is going to start stirring up the collective unconscious. The goddess is not going to stand for this shit. Not in any way at all. Wow, I need to work with this deck some more. Because this just did not give me a clear picture here. I feel like I had to kind of twist and turn to get it out of there. But, you know, I can go back. I wanted to go back and look at last night and see that deck of character one that I did to see how it panned out, but I didn't. So we just let it go. All right. All righty. Robin Wood. I have greater hope for Robin Wood here. Let's see what Robin Wood tells us. I hear that, Calla Lily. Oh my God, yes. They're all, well, they're, okay, there's a video on YouTube. It's been there forever. The song is called Probably Gay, and it's by these 3 women comedians, and it's fucking hilarious. And it's written about the fact that, okay, so they've done studies that they did like some psychological testing on people to see what their attitudes were towards gayness. You know, are these people homophobes or not? And then they showed them pornography. And they attached little electrodes to their willies to see what turned these guys on. And the ones that were the most homophobic were also the ones that were most turned on. So the song is about if you are a super homophobe, you're probably gay. And we know that. This is repression. Whatever you repress is going to come out in a toxic manner and take you down, right? So, yeah, these guys, you know, the fact that they still haven't caught on that, you know, if you're going to be doing this homophobic agenda, you better stay away from those rest stops, right? And this is the repressed feminine, that high priestess, that internal feminine. Ooh, here's a new one. The devil and the high priestess sitting there are talking about these evil men. The evil in them is that they, okay, Temperance, devil, high priestess, they have not assimilated their feminine side. They are in denial of their own probably very strong feminine side. That's why they're transphobic. Because the feminine inside them is trying to get their attention, and they have been raised by and traumatized by a misogynistic society. So we can't let that happen. All right. Let's see what Robin Wood has to say. Okay, Robin Wood, what do we need to know tonight? Please be very clear. Do your thing. My wonderful, wonderful deck. I love this deck so much. Ooh, here they come. Here they come. Oh, all over the place. All right. So we've got the Hermit there. Here, let's just put them in order. Got that. We've got the Hermit. We've got the Sun. Oh, looky here. Oh, looky here. Yes. Now do you see why I love this deck? And, oh, well, generally when they all come reversed, I flip them all around again, but we'll remember that those were all reversed. All right, here we go. Look at this, Hermit, Temperance, Magician. So we get Temperance again. We get the Plutonian energy. So here's this diamond that I've been working with. We start at the top with this triad. All right, Hermit in the middle says something needs light shed onto it. He's looking to the left side, the internal side, the subconscious side. But on this side, we have the sun and consciousness. What the Hermit is looking at here is our own sense of complacency. That's the Nine of Pentacles there, and she is reading like complacency to me, which is another kind of devil. Complacency is the devil. Complacency is the thing that says, hey, if it's not bothering me, you know, what do I have to do about it? Why should I bother to fix it? So Hermit says we need to get in touch with our own comfort and complacency to see, you know, looky. Do you see my glasses here that he brought me? My 1950s astrology glasses. Pretty cool, huh? Or 1960s maybe. At any rate, we're comfortable, and I'm looking at where she's looking. She's looking over here at Judgment. Oh, damn. All right. So when we are complacent in the face of this kind of judgment and injustice, that's what we need to look at here. Looking at that line. We need to bring this stuff out into consciousness, and then we've got the Eight of Swords over here. So that was across the middle. Judgment, Temperance, Eight of Swords. Look at the wings here. It's time to rise. It's time to start bringing what's internal, external here. If we're feeling trapped and bound, we need to understand that we're in a trap of our own making. We are in a prison of our own making. And it is up to us to unmake it. We can unmake this prison. Look at the Eight of Swords coming right next to the Devil here. We need to be willing to let go of some things that keep us comfortable. See this line? This line? We've got all kinds of lines going on here. But the Devil here, complacency. This is kind of like the golden handcuffs, or where we get complacent and comfortable because we are not directly under the gun ourselves. And we're not willing to let go of our own comfort in order to help bring things into balance. Balance has been a big theme tonight with that Libra at the beginning, hasn't it? And the Temperance card is assimilation. The Temperance card talks about taking the lessons of the past and incorporating them into our lives now. You know, lessons of even the recent past. Just asking ourselves, does my life reflect my knowledge? Does my life reflect the wisdom that I have gained from my experiences? And Temperance asks us to assimilate and make it manifest. Damn. And there's the Page of Swords. He was the only page that didn't come out in the last one. So he, too, is talking about taking up the sword of truth and beginning to educate and understand. So there's something here, too, that says while we're, you know, hanging out in our comfortable lives, it's time for us to start learning and making ourselves very aware of what's going on. Because when we do that, we can also find ways that we can be effective and that we can help. By spreading information, you know, by making other people aware of things. Because knowledge and truth, beginning this, so that the Page of Swords, like Marcy was saying, if you look at that as how we handle emotions, this would be intellectually. But this knowledge, the truth sets you free. This knowledge is what opposes the Devil card here. All right, hold on. Because these two over here really are talking about letting ourselves out of this prison of our own making. Looking at how we can weed out all of the misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic stuff that we have picked up throughout our lives. The Magician at the bottom here talks about it's time to get started. Time to get started and working in unity. Okay, yeah, it is a beautiful spread. Who's Jordan Klepper? No, I don't know Jordan Klepper. Who is Jordan Klepper? Tell me. Okay, Devil card has a Sun card on top of it. Temperance and the Magician next to it. Page of Swords coming right at it. Yeah, no kidding. So the Devil card, everything's kind of... This is really contained. The toxicity is really contained over here. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9 cards. I've got the 10th sitting right here. 6 out of 10 major arcana. This is big stuff. These are our big lessons. These actions that are going on right now, and I realize this entire evening has focused on what's going on in Texas here. But all of these toxic things that are going on, all of the majors here say it is time for this stuff to come into consciousness. It's like Samantha said, better out than in. It is time for it to be way out there, available to everyone. Put it on blast. Put it on your Facebook. Share things. Make sure that just the information is out there so people can't deny that it's happening. There are so many causes these days. We've gotten causal burnout from way back with the pandemic and Black Lives Matter, and so many things have burned us out. But then again, here it's saying now I'm feeling like that burnout is going to start turning into a blaze again, igniting our compassion, igniting our care, igniting us into action. Look at these wings. It's time to rise above all this shit. And the Magician says we can be unified in this. Let's look at what the last one was. I didn't turn that one over because it's by itself. We've got the 3 of Rods upside down. Results are coming. They're not going to be what they expect. That's what I'm getting from that. The ships are coming in. The chickens are coming home to roost, and it's not going to be what's expected. These are consequences. Okay, I'm reading messages now. Okay, those little segments on, okay. Yeah, I stopped watching The Daily Show when Jon Stewart left, and I just never went back. I love Stephen Colbert, and I love Seth Meyers. They're my boys. But I'll tell you what, somebody needs to tell them that it's not Ukraine. It's Ukraine. In Ukraine. That's right up there with Arab, or Italian. Ukraine. No. Ukraine. Come on, you guys. All right, let's see here. Fucks with Trumpers. Okay. Page of Swords defending all the children. Yep. A pastor in Arkansas who tried some crazy Christians. Oh my God. Right on. See? And so this is one of the things in that previous spread, that 3 of Cups in the middle. It's like, what's that about? Because I'm doing readings. I'm looking for trauma. But humor. Those first cards talking about grounding that angry energy. Sometimes the best way to diffuse angry energy is with humor. or just refusing to pick it up and carry the anger. Don't come back at it with anger, and it kind of fizzles pretty quickly. So yeah, Page of Swords is definitely taking up the sword. Kids fighting for their rights. And remember too that the younger generation, the kids that are in school now, Gen Zs, I get so confused as to where the cutoffs are. But anyway, these are kids that are very different from us old farts. They have grown up with active shooter drills. They have grown up with suicide and drug overdoses. They can have a very Iran. They can have an attitude of nothing left to lose, you know. And you look at the millennials, and you know, the ones that are just like, I'll never be able to afford a house. I don't give a shit what, you know, we're getting to this place where there's nothing left to lose. And there's nothing more dangerous than someone who has nothing left to lose. So, while I want to go into Texas and scoop every one of those kids out of there and bring them to a safe place, I can't do that. And I really have a feeling with this that these kids are going to rise up. They're going to rise up, discover their own magic. They're watching. They're watching the wealthy, the complacent. And they're going, okay, time to rise up, time to take up the sword, time to begin using all the skills I have. What they discover inside is coming out into the light of day, and they're saying, you will not have me bound and gagged. You will not keep me blindfolded. You will not shove me into a closet. You will not tell me I'm being abused. And then the devil card here is it's time to let go. It's time to call out the demons. Call out the demons. And the ships are coming in and the chickens are coming home to roost, and they are not at all going to be what is expected. Temperance in the middle is that angel that says, you are not separate from your actions. You know, it's all blended into one. Okay, so, you know, I think one of the things going on tonight is, aside from my tummy ache, which is settling down considerably, by the way, just chaotic energies, you know, so much chaos going on around us. Chaos and fear. An old Trumpy boy coming out and saying, oh, isn't Putin a genius? Look at what he's done. Isn't he something else? What the fuck? All right. So now we're coming to the Wicca Oracle. I want this to be for us witches, and talking about what we can do. Hello, Royce. Welcome. What's VUM today? What's that? I don't know what that means, darling. Yes, it was interesting. So, let me, do I still have some hot there? No? Poop. Oh, well. I think, wait, I want another charcoal. I need more smells. There we go. Man, these charcoals have been great. They explode. Woo! I've learned that it's not a good idea to hold these charcoals in my hand when I light them. All right. Okay, what's to vow or to swear? What are you talking about? Okay. So I would like this deck to talk to us about our collective magic and our approach to that, what's available to us for the, they don't want to shuffle anymore, for the coming week. Callus, sorry, honey. I'm sorry. I don't mean to give you a tummy ache, too. Of VUM? V-U-M? Okay. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm hearing 5, so I want 5 cards. All right. Just asking, do I take them off the top? No, they want me to spread and pull. And we're going to do it for the elements. We're going to start with earth. What we need to accept. Air, what we need to know. Fire, what we need to do. Water, what we need to feel. And spirit, what we're being called to. All right, come on. Now, I haven't looked at this deck in a long time. So here's earth. What we need to accept. Change. Look at the butterfly and the chrysalis. A butterfly represents change. It says that the caterpillar carries everything in it that becomes a butterfly. It is the caterpillar, it is the chrysalis, it is the butterfly. So, in the earth category here, we need to remember that we have everything that we need. We already have it right here. There's not another thing we're lacking. It's not a thing we're lacking. If we feel something is lacking, it's because it hasn't been made manifest. We haven't brought the energies through the body yet and into form. So what we need to accept is that we are capable of transformation on a very physical level. We are capable of changing things in the physical, in the manifest outer world. We are capable of evolving ourselves. Whatever we need to change in ourselves, we are able to do. And I'm going to grab the book here just to see. How aligned I am. There's no need to make decisions now. Let life float gently by. See, I'm not getting that at all here. Transition, beauty, and wonder are the key words. But I'm going to just go with my intuition here because it's talking to me. So, this is in the earth. We need to accept that, and beauty is a very good key word here. So we ground ourselves in the beauty of life. We ground ourselves in looking back over our experience and seeing the transformations that we've already been through in order to remind ourselves of our capability there. How able we are to bring change and to transform. Turned him around. Okay. Air, what we need to know. And this is mandrake root. Ooh, I need to look this one up. Okay, devotion to the god and goddess, ecology, nature, environment. So ecology, I'm going to take that a little bit further. Ecology can mean, you know, nature, and nature being in balance and how we move in the natural world and are part of it. But ecology can also be applied to individual events and things. Like if you decide you want to do a project in your home and you look at the ecology of it, it's like, does this really fit in with our lifestyle? Is it in balance with the greater system? So what we need to know is, we need to be able to discern what's in balance with the greater system, what is ecological and what is not. What about our behaviors, our choices, our lifestyle is in harmony with what we ultimately say we want, and what is not in harmony. What things that I say that I want actually kind of throw a monkey wrench into the ecology of life for the time being. So Mandrake here, it talks about devotion to Goddess and God, your spiritual path. The affirmation is, I am connected to all living things. Talks about replenishing in nature. So looking at the connections of how we live and what we do, and are these ecological? Interesting. The fire card, what we need to do, shows abundance and manifestation. So what we need to do here is be more conscious of the abundance that's around us, be more conscious of our resources. And this talks to me too about sharing those resources, about looking at how we use our resources and how we can use them in a way that does promote what we want to promote in the world. Then we have water, and we get the horned god. Okay. So emotionally, this is talking about confidence, magic, power, feeling powerful, the power to do what you need to do in your life. There's a wildness about him as well. He's a very magician-y kind of thing. You see the snake around his neck? And the one arm up and the one arm down. Very magician-y. What's he holding there? A torque? Let's take a look. Take command of the situation with confidence and beneficence. If leadership is offered, accept it with humility and without false modesty. Take care to respect those who look to you for protection. So this is emotional authority. This is trusting in your emotions and what they make you feel, how you feel about things, and letting them really be a motivator and give you the impetus into action. And then Spirit here has the Claddagh. Spirit is about being our sister's keeper. So now I can kind of go back here. Spirit is calling us to take care of those around us that are in need right now. So I know I'm going to be talking to my son a lot. He's very connected to trans communities and Reddit and stuff like that. And my daughter is also very well connected, and she tells me what's going on. I hadn't heard the Greg Abbott thing until she told me. So being called into care, standing in our emotional authority of what's right and what's wrong, knowing it when we feel it, being willing to take action to share our resources or even donate $1 or $2 to causes here and there. There may be some legal things set up where you can contribute even $1. And you know, if all you can contribute is $1 to something and you're a witch, that dollar can carry a lot more than just the value of $1. So remember that as well, because it's talking about sharing of resources here, looking at how what you have can help things. Mandrake there is talking about the ecology of what's happening, and hold on, I'm going to look at him again. I'm connected to all living things. How do you replenish yourself in nature? The plant world exists in mystical relationship with the human world, each serving the other to heal, nourish, and grow. From food to medicine to poison to mind expansion, plants offer ancient green magic. The mandrake is symbolic of the kinship between mankind and plants, suggesting a common origin. Literally, we are one with nature. Okay. So, I mean, mentally, it's talking about just the knowledge of healing, the knowledge of herbal things, the knowledge of plant medicine. I'm also thinking about how connected everything is through the roots of plants and through the mycelium, through the mushroom body, the great mushroom goddess. Because there's a giant one. I think it's like right under, like Midwest where we are. There's these massive structures underground that are communication systems and systems that move resources from one place to another. So, okay, so this is talking about kind of in an organic way, just the same way that trees move water to each other. Trees that are closer to the water actually move water uphill to other trees, and they're connected through this mycelium network. There's knowledge that they share. They carry wisdom, they carry healing, they carry nutrients to each other. And we can be like this. Oh, here it is. We are this network. We are this organic network of caring people with resources that are willing to share. We are this network that is capable of transformational magic, of transforming something into, trash into treasure. And like that mycelium network, so that's what the air is being aware of the mechanics of our connections with each other. The mechanics of those connections. I'm going to be pondering that for a while. Because it's magical, but there's also a physical connection. And the physical connection really is the energetic connection. Just because it's, only in energy and not in the density of matter, it doesn't mean it's not a physical connection, right? The frequencies we share. So, wow. Okay, they want another one here. And looky there. We've got this chariot saying it's time to fucking get moving. It's the chariot of fire. The time for contemplation is over. Take the reins of your life in your own hands and take action immediately. Your boldness will be rewarded by good fortune. Yeah. Okay. So, time to get on the stick magically. Time to start doing some spell work. I'm going to start, well, we'll see what I'm going to start. I did some major ritual work the other night to dump some old shit, and I feel myself preparing for the new and preparing to get our prayer circles back again so we can start really generating this collective magic. And there are the old prayer circles. You guys can go back anytime you want them and do that work. And at the very least, they can help you to generate the energy and connect with everybody else. All right, catching up with messages here. Sugar Vladdy. Multiples of 6, relationships changing and evolving. And the bee, 6 is one of the sacred numbers. You look at the beehive and that strong structure of 6. So yes, thank you for pointing that out, Samantha, the multiples of 6 here. 6, 12, 24. And then like Tesla said, when we finally understand that everything is energy, everything is vibration, everything has a frequency, it will change more rapidly than we ever have before. Right. Electricity is physical, connects with each other. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. But that's what Mandrake was telling us about there in the air category, is just that we are connected in ways that we don't acknowledge on a daily basis. We are connected in powerful ways. All right. Thank you for that, Marcy. I don't feel that way. I feel like, kind of dissatisfied and things are kind of watered down, but that's the way it is. the wheel turns, right? Sometimes we get these incredible magical and everything is connected, and then sometimes it feels like hard work. But I can't think of a more pleasant place to be doing that hard work than with you guys here. You know, I have actually had things recently where somebody tried to schedule something on Wednesday. Well, you know, let's do it Wednesday. Wednesday, it's like, hell no, I got a live stream on Wednesday. You guys take priority. Absolutely take priority. So, all right. What time? Oh my God. How is that almost 2 hours? Wow. All right. I'm glad you felt it. I'm glad you got the energy. I am going to grab the deck of character because why not? Since we brought up good old Sugar Vladdy, let's find out what the fuck's going to happen with him, huh? And I am still, I don't know if I told you guys this, I actually bought myself a legit copy of Deck of Character. I'm still using the one that I made. And I will unbox, oh, I think I did tell you that I unboxed it, like for an hour-long video with my microphone off, so I will do it again when I have the gumption. All right, so one more. Cauldron. Ooh, baby, yep, Cauldron. Things are getting hot. Things are heating up over there. So I'm going to do 10 cards here, a double row of 5. I want to know about Putin and Ukraine. Look at the knife. Oh my God. Okay. Putin, tell me his course in Ukraine. What do we got there? Candle. All right. We're just going to spread and pull. Tell me, hold on. What's happening in Ukraine? Let's look at it over the course of this next week, huh? Ghost. All right, one more. Good grief. Stop now. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that was totally eyes closed. Let's talk. Night, rainbow, door, fairy, tunnel, mother, inferno, claw, next to team, and heaven. Wow. Okay. All righty. So we go to the middle first, and we have door and claw. So Putin is at the door there, standing at the door. He's trying to claw his way in. The door, you know, it's showing the door open, but the claw says it's not necessarily open to him, and he's trying to force his way in. And he has clawed his way in. He has pushed the door open. And, you know, what fuckhead was so thrilled about is that, you know, oh, it's just brilliant. He just declared a whole part of Ukraine as Russia. And then he moves in to take care of it. So, clawing the door open. Now let's look at the 4 corners. Knight and mother. This is the role that he's trying to project. He's trying to convince people that he is the knight coming in to save, and Mother Russia is coming in. We will come in and make life so much better for you. You don't need to join NATO. Mother Russia will come in and save you. Ha! Then we look at the other end here, and we have tunnel and heaven. Okay. All right, so this is telling me, outcome-wise, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to have to go through a tight patch. But then heaven, you know, things come out to the highest good. I'm looking at heaven as the highest good. Now, night, rainbow, door. Okay, well, rainbow comes out after a storm. After rain, he's trying to kind of skip to the rainbow. And it's also, you know, somewhere over the rainbow, this knight is trying to spin this beautiful story. Oh, look, let me in. I won't hurt you. Look at this beautiful rainbow. Ah, you know, open the door and let me in. And the fairy is talking about, here are the magical things he's offering, right? All right, Inferno Claw, Angsty Teen. So what he is trying to spin as a rainbow is actually an inferno. Oh, look at the lovely lights. Isn't that nice? When actually, no, it's a bomb, you know? Pardon me. And we have Fairy and Angsty Teen. So he's acting like, you know, I'm going to come in and wave a magic wand and make everything wonderful for you. Okay, with the Angsty Teen, who is that? I mean, it can show the anxiety. It's, okay, those are the separatists. Those are the rebellious. The rebellion that's already going on. You know, he's got these separatists in there already in the territories that he's now declared part of Russia. But I think he will find that they're not that controllable. Because an angsty teen doesn't like to do what daddy says, right? Let's look at the literally the knights, how the knighting triangles. We have knight, claw, and tunnel. Okay. So rescue, protector. I think here, you know, what looks like a protector. I'm going to come in as a protector, but then you very quickly find out that there's claws there that are going to hurt you. The tunnel here, too, also talks about secrecy, going underground. It can also talk about what he's really after, which is the resources that Ukraine has. And what is a tunnel, too? A tunnel is a way to go underneath a huge obstacle. A tunnel is a way to get somewhere that would have stopped you in before. So yeah, he's looking at that underhanded way to get in. We've got Night Claw Tunnel. So it looks like he's coming in to be protective, but they're going to get scratched. Somebody's going to get hurt. You know, he's there to take, to and to accomplish his underground agenda, to get around obstacles. He's doing what he's doing in the, you know, with the rebels, because it's the way to get where he's going that gets him underneath the obstacles. Now we've got Mother, Door, Heaven. Oh, looky there. Mother. Okay. Mother, I'm also looking at as, I mean, Knight can be NATO. Knight and Mother together can talk about the NATO allies coming in to protect and care for. That the door is open to mother and care, and I'm looking at this as eventually, you know, things working out for the best. But let's look at these knights. Rainbow and Angsty Teen, Inferno and Fairy. Don't know. You guys got ideas? Inferno and Fairy. He's trying to pass off an attack and an invasion as some, you know, as something that it absolutely is not. So that's just the illusion that he's trying to sell. Same thing with Rainbow. And I think this is saying that the rebels are seeing things as, you know, oh, he's this big savior and he's going to make everything all right. But the truth of it is these fairy tales he's telling are just an excuse and a blinder to come in and start the inferno. Okay, let's see here. Hungry Ghost. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The quest stands on the edge of a knife. Let me. Okay. Ineffective tool. Yeah, he is a tool. Somebody was talking about having had a vision of him being assassinated. Which, you know, be careful what you wish, but. Well, I mean, the thing is, Russia's landlocked, right? And Ukraine gives him access. That's why he annexed Crimea, because they needed the port. They needed ports. They need access to the sea. And Ukraine gives them that, plus they have a wealth of all kinds of stuff. What they're not counting on is just how much support Ukraine has. All right, Mokosh. Right on. Resources are underground. Yep, the pipeline from Germany. Oh, there it is. That's what the tunnel is the pipeline from Germany. All right. Yeah, he's a peacekeeper for sure. Just going to do another little line here. We've gone past 2 hours. I can't even believe it. Fuel. Ooh. Okay. So, yeah, fuel. I mean, there's going to be issues with fuel there with the pipeline getting shut down. The vomit and desert cracks me up. All right, I'm not getting a whole lot more from this. I'm not going to belabor it anymore. But, yeah, I think things are still up in the air. I mean, the fact is he has invaded Ukraine. That's the fact of it. However he wants to spin it, however he thinks he's going to, you know, get around the obstacles by calling it what it's not. He has invaded Ukraine, and I'm very happy that the sanctions have come swift and fast. They are kind of cordoning off the oligarchs, and NATO is gathering around Ukraine, and we'll see what happens. But I think that there's a lot of strength right now among the allies in Europe and in NATO, and he's not going to get away with it this time. Trying to dig his claws into it. Yeah, yep, trying to find resources elsewhere, that's for sure. Here's a big question that I have, though. When Trump, like, immediately when he got into office and had those two Russians into the Oval Office, I want to know how much information Trump had actually received by then, and was he able to give secrets? Was he able to give them secrets? You know that's what the whole agenda was. I just want to know how much he was able to pass along. At any rate, let's close this down now, you guys. We've had 2 hours. But you know what? That's how much I like hanging out with you. I really do. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Do you like my new glasses, by the way? These are my new Zenny glasses. I got progressive trifocals with all the protective shit and the blue light canceling and everything else. You know, non-glare, all the good stuff, all the good bells and whistles. Less than $100. Last time I got them, they were over 400. So, yay, Zenny! I will vouch for them. Thanks so much for being here. I am coming back and doing unboxings again, so look forward to that. I've got a stack of decks to get through, but if you guys have one in particular you want to hear from, and you don't see it on my channel, hit me, ask me if I have that deck, or go to my wish list and you'll know if I have that deck or not. And buy me a deck, I'll give you a reading. All right, you guys. You are awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Let me round up messages here. You're so welcome, Samantha. You're so welcome. Namaste to all of you. Yep. Right on. Okay. Of course he's... Yeah, I'm sure he gave them everything he could. Hopefully people were not giving him a lot of information because they knew what a fuckhead he was. Anyway, thanks again, you guys. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. If you feel like donating, there's links down below. I will see you next time. And do your magic. Work your magic. Say your prayers. Every single night. You're powerful. Don't ever forget it. All right? I love you. I'll see you next time. This is Luna. Blessed be.